Hello, hello. This is Lisa.
Oh, she's so chipper. Okay. Hi, I'm Cryss.
And this is AKS Knits and Crochets number 37. I am chipper. Yes.
I know. I feel the energy bubbling. I don't know what that's about.
I just had some hot chocolate.
Okay. That'll do it. Yeah.
Yes, it will. So what you don't know is that sometimes Mom stands off camera and reminds us of stuff. Thank you, Mom.
I didn't even hear what she said.
Giveaway.
Oh.
Because we always mean to talk about our giveaway and then we forget about it. So thank you, Mom, for real. I am going to talk about our giveaway. First of all, we want to say thank you guys who have just joined us. Thank you for watching our... Am I loud? Okay. Thank you for watching our Yarny YouTube Hot video. That was really fun to do. And thanks for subscribing. We are running a giveaway in which when we hit 300 subscribers, we're at 290 now. So come on, guys, get us over the hump. We have a whole bag of stuff to give away to people, to whoever wins the giveaway. We're going to just choose somebody at random from the subscribers. So today I am adding this glorious skein to the bag. I want to hold it so that maybe the light won't blow it out. It's not like blue-gray like it looks.
It's not as pale as it's looking on camera.
It's a beautiful, soft...
It's like a minty green.
Yes, minty green. This is Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine. This stuff feels like heaven.
I love Juniper Moon Farm.
It's alpaca, wool, and silk. Give that a feel. You're going to love that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think we should put this in the bag.
Oh, it's in the bag.
This should go in my stash.
It's in the bag. It's in the bag. So this is going in the bag with all the other wonderful goodies for the lucky winner. So thank you for joining us. All right, Cryss, what do you got going on today?
So, silk dress is like near completion. I spent the week just like stitching. You know what was funny? I was thinking about I was procrastinating getting back to the dress, and I was trying to figure out why. And I think it was because Sunset was DK weight, and then Wool Walk Tee was DK weight, and I think I was just like not sure I wanted to go back to fingering weight just yet. But once I started, I was like, I don't even know what I was worried about because I love this yarn and it's going great. So I have now completed the back of the dress.
Whoa, you did get far.
Yeah, the dress. I was up very late last night because you know what? I kept saying, all right, I'm just gonna do like the next 2 color stripes, and then I was like, well, let me just do this next stripe, and then well, I'm already at the off-white part. Yeah, Mission Creep.
Yes,
but I finished the back of the dress.
The color changes got you.
So this is the front. I'm gonna, I have all the finishing work to do, and after that, I'll take a picture so you can like really see what it looks like. But this will just give you an idea. It's just like a sheath dress, and it's a little higher in the front. But then the back, I did a big old V.
Nice.
But it comes down to just above the bra strap, so I don't have to like wear a special bra. Which,
yes. And
so if you remember when I talked about this dress, I love these colors. Oh my gosh. The yarn is Ella Ray Rustic Silk, which is sadly, very sadly discontinued. If you search for it online, you'll find stores here and there that still have a little left. I would jump on that. It's 100% silk. It's fingering weight, and it is, but it's a raw silk. So it doesn't have that same like super slippery hand that silk has, but it still feels wonderful. Like I prefer my silks rustic to my wools.
Yes, you surely do.
But we can rusticate the silk.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a basic sheath dress. And if you've been following, you remember that I said I made a little oopsie. And the dress was going to be too small because when I was doing my numbers, I accidentally used my bust measurement instead of my hip measurement. So the front of the dress is a little bit narrower than it needs to be. So I just made the back of the dress wider. I just added 2 inches. So I added 1 inch on either side, and it fits. So I had talked about doing a
tuxedo stripe.
Yeah, a tuxedo stripe down the side to expand the width a little bit. I don't think I'm going to need to do that. Right now I have it basted so that I could try it on, and like I said, it fits. So we won't. Well, I have an idea. I still might do a little decor on the sides, but I don't need to expand it because it does. Just adding those 2 inches made the difference. But I love it. It looks good. It feels good. And see, I tried it on Lisa Mystic, but I have a necklace that the metal is 3 different colors, and I put it on with this dress, and oh my God. Wait till y'all see a picture, because the necklace just set off the whole outfit. It was just like,
wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just happened to run across a picture of the shoot dress. You were influenced by that dress. It's the same color scheme.
It is.
It's the same colors.
So, and I'm also just going to leave some little short slits on the side.
Okay.
Just as a little
something.
Yeah. And so I just have to do all my finishing. I have to seam it, and I have to do all my edgings. But the dress is like 95% finished.
Nice.
You know, for the longest time, it was like sitting like right here. And I kept looking at it, and like, you ever feel like your unfinished projects judge you? I feel like they like give you a look when you walk past. And I felt like it was silently judging me. So I'm really glad that I got back to it, because we're getting along much better now.
I usually forget the projects even exist.
Really?
And when I find them again, I'm like, oh, look at this.
I could forget. No. Yeah. So, but now there's no more judgment.
Yay. Well, let me show you guys what I've been up to. I have projects in various stages going on. So if you watch my our video for the Yarny YouTube Hop, you know I finished my Zana cardigan. But I had some issues with it. When I wore it, this is it. When I wore it, I liked it, and I wore it. I sure did wear it out. It was fun. But I did notice that the neckline tended to turn under. So my solution to that was to get a really nice looking ribbon that had a beautiful geometric design on it, and sew it underneath the opening. But do you notice how this ribbon is completely white?
She's still mad.
It's white. So I had to make a choice. I could either have this white ribbon showing through my stitches, like little peaks of white, or I could turn the quite attractive side to face out so that it's completely invisible underneath. Now I am stuck with the white ribbon.
I don't think it looks bad, just because this yarn is heathered. It has flecks of white in it. So the white doesn't like just come out of left field.
It doesn't, but that's not the vision.
Plus, you did that specifically so that that little lapel stays in place.
And it does.
And so few people are going to see that, especially when you have your little button, your clasp closing it. So
yeah. So
she's just resenting that, things ain't what they used to be.
They really aren't.
And you don't get pattern on both sides of your ribbon all the time anymore.
I have never seen this. I've never seen this before. I have never seen it before. I got this spool of ribbon at Joann's. I hope y'all people are listening, Joanne.
And there was no way to tell.
There was absolutely no way to tell. So I did not know until I got this ribbon home that the pattern was only on one side. I mean, even if it was just like blue on the other side, I wouldn't have been upset. But it's completely blank, bright, shining white.
I don't think it looks bad though. It really doesn't. I'm not just
saying
that to preserve your sanity.
I'm gonna wear it, but I'm gonna put the jewel clasp on, and it's also going to stabilize where I sew. Because the other thing I noticed when I wore it and I had it clasped, the weight of the clasp pulling was actually pulling this out of shape. So with the ribbon underneath it, it's gonna just have a very stable place to sit, and it will not pull my lapel out of shape. Because eventually I would end up with like a permanent point probably. So that's the tale of my Zana cardigan. But otherwise, I actually loved wearing it. It was exactly what I needed. It was so comfortable. So I love this so much, I decided to make another piece to go with it. But I will tell you, have anything else to show?
No, I one project at a time.
Okay. I am making an outline tank to wear with it. And actually, I've gotten pretty far. I'm very happy with my progress.
Yeah, so
This
someone made these for the people in the Sit and Stitch group.
We host a little event on Sundays. It's called Sit and Stitch. And one of our members,
It's a carrot
with a friendly face. Yes. One of our members came visiting. She actually lives in England. And she made us all these cute little carrots. I love this thing. I absolutely love it. So this is the bottom half of the outline tank. As you can see, it's going to be twinning with my Zana cardigan because I'm making it out of the leftovers. I had 10 balls of that yarn, so I had 5 balls left. So it's going in here. And I am about to start, so it's not going to be terribly long. It's only from the armpit to the hem, it's 11.5 inches. And I'm about to start on the upper half of the tank top. But there she blows. I'm so happy. I made a little mistake, so I had to pull out 4 rows at the beginning of the shaping of the cups. But other than that, it's a really simple knit. As you see, it's all been stockinette. Actually, I watched the new Doctor Strange movie last night while I was finishing up the body.
Have y'all seen that? Thoughts? I fell asleep on it.
It was very, let's just say, it was very cinematic to look at. But I felt like the story had some weaknesses.
Weak sauce.
Okay, yeah.
So share if you've seen it.
Yeah. Actually, and I found while I was at Joann's,
what is that?
This is the cutest little fella. This is a needle threader. If you lift up the little shield, because the tiny tip is minuscule and it can stick you if you're not careful. I really love this one. You know how I've always used the
the soft, flexible?
Oh no, there's nothing soft or flexible about it. It's a little metal hook.
Oh, how? Oh,
yeah, you stick it through the needle. You put the thread in and you pull it back through. It worked great though, and I thought the little bird shape was so cute.
Because you know the one that has those 2 wires that cross, and yeah, that's what I'm used to.
Those break just almost immediately. The wires always slip out, so I just got myself a decent needle threader. It's actually from Dritz. So if you're doing any sewing, and since I had to do a little sewing, I was like, you know what, just go ahead, get yourself a new needle threader. Adorable, easy to find too, because that's the other thing with those little metal guys.
Yeah,
they're invisible.
It's a bird.
It's a bird. So there you go. Give that a try. I love it. Oh, and it has a tiny cutter for thread. It's also a thread snip.
Oh, geez. Well, that's full service.
I think so. I also got some Happy Mail this week. Da-da, 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 dum, 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 dum,
okay. Let's not do our own soundtracks.
I have been looking for this Laine Magazine. When we went out yarn store hopping, nobody had it.
It's issue 10?
It is issue 10.
We went to a store that had 9 and 11.
Yes, it felt personal. It did. It felt a little bit personal, but I got my issue because the sweater I want to make for my holiday sweater this year, the pattern is in it. So I am just so excited and happy to have actually gotten this issue. This is Aquamiri. Look at that. I love the intarsia and the striping.
Now, are you going to do it in this kind of color scheme?
This
or are you going to make it more, holiday-ish? This is giving me real hard autumn vibes. I mean, she's standing in a field of hay.
Yeah, she's standing in a field of wheat.
You affecting that?
But I was thinking that I would make it, since you and Mom were talking about doing sweaters in that color.
No.
Are you not doing that anymore?
No, because I told you I had a specific plan and you didn't want to do the plan.
I thought you were talking about okay. Mom got this beautiful yarn in, right? And
Bella
we all
Cash from Universal.
Bella Cash for Universal. We all fell in love with the colors she got.
It's like a green and like a silvery gray.
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. And Crystal was like, "Oh, we should." And I misunderstood what she was saying.
Is what happened.
Yes, I thought she was saying we should all do sweaters in these colors, but she wanted to do sweaters in that yarn.
So that people could see the different things we did with the same yarn. But at least it won't work in sport weight either. Apparently, it's also on the banned list.
It's not on the banned list, and I have some sport weight plans. But this particular sweater, I didn't want to do in sport weight because it goes down to your knees.
So adjust the length.
I intend to adjust the length somewhat, but I don't want to make it a sport. It's written for worsted, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I haven't made a sweater in worsted yet.
So I'm just saying, do whatever colors you was gonna do.
But yeah, I don't know what colors yet that I will do it in. It's a 3-color sweater. I do like that silvery gray though, so I might end up using that silvery gray as my background color. But there was a really kind of wonderful surprise in this magazine too. Take a look at the detail on this sweater. I absolutely love that sleeve detail. And it's an interesting technique that's more like weaving than knitting. And I might end up doing that too.
Y'all don't understand what's happening right now, but her planning multiple sweaters, because getting the sweater out of her was like pulling teeth. And now she's just like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make this sweater and this sweater and this sweater." I don't know who this person is right now. I'm like, "Whoa, where's my sister?" Okay.
And then,
but I'm very excited.
I know, right? She's like, "Yeah, do it." I saw the detail on this sweater. Now, I'm not really interested in making this particular sweater, but look at how neat and not bulky that kangaroo pocket is. Such an interesting technique to create that really situation.
I hate when they go for the artistic shot instead of just showing you the garment, though. I don't necessarily. The motion is a little distracting because it's folding in different ways. I would like to just see how it wears on the body. Yeah. But I see what you're saying about the pocket.
Yeah, it's done beautifully. So I don't know. I might steal that detail.
Wearing our knitwear out in the wild. Like, why can't we ever be in a city?
I don't know why.
Like in the office or at a restaurant or shopping downtown or what have you. Like, I don't put on a sweater and then go find a field to stand in. Who's doing this?
I'm not clear on who exactly is going out to the fields.
I don't get this aesthetic.
I will tell you the truth, though. When I was shopping for items for the store, I skipped this issue of lineup because of the Little House on the Prairie look of the women on the cover. I was like,
what's that about? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there I go. I judged a book by its cover. And there are things in here I really, really, really like. So if you get a chance, do check out Laine Magazine. I like how they put the patterns together.
Oh, and the website had this issue, but only in Finnish.
Yes, only in Finnish. I was like, oh, the gods are toying with me. Yes.
If you want to, get your little translator app out.
No, I can't work that hard. Okay, I just can't. But I thought it was a wonderful issue. I love the quality of the paper of the magazine. Sometimes you worry that as you're using the magazine, it's going to fall apart in your hands. I don't have that worry with this.
I was looking at the website for Amirisu, and they have nice stuff, nice patterns in their magazine. They are it's like I don't knit, so it's like, do I buy the magazine just so I can look at the pictures because I do get some inspiration from them, or do I just look at the pictures online? I don't know. The only crochet magazine that I can say I really, really loved was Into Crochet, and they stopped publishing it. So there really aren't any crochet magazines that I'm into right now. But I feel sad about that. I would love to find a crochet magazine that's like my vibe. But because one of the things I liked about Into Crochet is not only that they had nice patterns, but they styled the garments well in the magazine. It wasn't just some big chunky bunky clunky thing standing in a field.
I don't know why it's always in nature. I mean, it's a thing.
So, and if you all have suggestions for Crochet Magazine, I'm intrigued by Moorit, but it's a tiny little quibble. I feel like they're emulating the look of Knit Magazine so hard that it's just like you could do something different. So I don't know. I don't know if I would be like a subscriber just yet. We'll see.
Well, take a look through it and see what you think. I mean, what do you think of the patterns overall? I thought the patterns.
I've actually only seen that first issue.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really looked because they've only had is it 2 issues out?
Yeah, I think they're on issue 2.
So I haven't seen issue 2 yet. Because are they only publishing twice a year or something like that?
I don't know how often they publish. I don't remember.
But I've only seen all of the designs in issue 1 and then like the cover design from issue 2.
But the designs are up on their website if you want to take a quick look through and see what you like. But I thought that they were at least bringing a more modern aesthetic in, because they are miles away from, let's say, Crochet World. Yeah, it's miles away from that.
Yeah, Crochet World is interesting. You know what? Crochet World has a specific audience.
Yes,
I just don't know who that is. And one of the problems I have with Crochet World, I feel like, issue after issue, it all feels very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're varying the styles of their designs as much as they could. And what are y'all thinking about Crochet Magazines? Y'all tell me, because I'm, since I started designing my own stuff, I haven't really just been looking. So like when Lisa has yarn, she's always like, oh, I can make this top or I can make this sweater. Like, because she looks at patterns more often than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So she always has like patterns that she can call up. I haven't really been looking at what other people are doing much lately. So I don't even know what's out there anymore.
Well, you know what? Why don't we take a look over at Ravelry? Because there's new people coming on the scene all the time.
Yeah, I feel like there are designers that I like, especially some of the Scandinavian designers, and I'm always talking about Nomad stitches, but I feel like, again, you kind of see the same designers again and again on Ravelry.
You know what? You have to change the default is hot right now.
Yeah, I do.
If you change that away from hot right now, you just see a whole nother selection.
Yeah.
And then as I kind of hone in on what I'm looking for, I make my choices down the side more and more specific. So I knock out.
I look at Ravelry. If I look in there once a month, that's a lot. I haven't really been on Ravelry a lot. I'm just really excited about like kind of designing my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to stay current, so I don't know. I have like these dueling,
Well, where do you get your inspiration sometimes for your stuff?
Mostly garments that I see like in stores, or sometimes since I was a kid, I've really been into the clothes people wear on TV shows and in movies. So now, like, because when it was just TV, right? And it was all happening live. And if you missed it, you missed it, right? Now with streaming, I can pause and take pictures. So I actually have a little folder on my phone that's called Crochet Inspo. And it has a lot of like blurry pictures of things from TV shows and movies, that some of them are, knit or crochet, and some of them are just regular like sewn garments. But I'm like, oh, I could do a version of that. But it's clothes, but not specifically knitting and crochet. I've been having so much trouble with SP lately, and I've always been good at consonant blends. I don't know what's happening. I had trouble saying spaghetti the other night.
Yeah, that was difficult.
But yeah, just clothes in general has been my inspiration.
Well, why don't you just expand your search to look at more clothes rather than patterns?
There's this channel on YouTube. I think it's called Crochet Knitting Therapy. I believe the woman on the channel is Turkish. So she doesn't speak in the video. She just shows you different stitch patterns. The stuff she's doing is so beautiful. So I'm also often inspired just by a stitch pattern. It doesn't even have to be worked up into a thing. And I really want to start following more of those channels on YouTube that are just doing stitch, because there's Crochet Knitting Therapy, which I just discovered. There's Sirins Crochet, which is, I think, Sirin. Crochet. She does stitch patterns as well. And then I think Naztazia is another channel. Gorgeous, gorgeous stitch patterns. It just aren't the stuff you see every day. Because I like granny stripe too, but come now. You know, there are other things. So stitch patterns are actually a big source of inspiration for me.
Well, I saw something during the summer yarning YouTube hop that kind of inspired me. Kim, the Crafty Nomad, look Kim, she made this bag, and I'm like, I like that bag, and it was essentially made of a giant granny square. But I was like, that's a square. There's no reason I can't pull out my stitch dictionary, find a pretty pattern,
I haven't seen it.
Knit a square. I loved it. I was like, that would make. I have this fantasy of carrying a hand knit project bag with a project in it while I'm wearing my own hand knits. That is like the vision I see for myself.
I don't know if
walking
I needed to know that.
Walking through some yarn event.
No, sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah, sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower. Yes, that's even better. At a yarn event, at the base of the Eiffel Tower, where there's tea and cakes being served.
What are you going to do with cake?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gluten-free.
Tea and gluten-free cakes being served. Okay, if it's a fantasy,
it was.
Go with it.
Yeah, go for it. But yes, I'm just like, that is the fantasy. So I'm like, all right, I see you. I love the bag. It's really, really cute. And it's one of the things I liked about it was that she put these snaps on it so that you have a snap here and a snap here, and these sections here are open. So you could pull your thread through it or your yarn through it, and your yarn won't be stuck in that bag. I am. I'm just like, I am going to pull out my stitch dictionary, and I have some old yarn upstairs that I haven't done anything with. So I'm going to just use up that old yarn, and I'm going to have the absolute cutest project bag.
Kim incepted you.
She did. And, you know, as I walk through the yarn event, I'll hear the ladies whispering like, oh my God, I think she made the bag too.
Okay, we're gonna just slowly back away from this because
it's getting more and more detailed.
Yes.
But if you haven't checked out the Summer Yarning YouTube Hop playlist, do check it out.
You gotten good at saying that.
I've been practicing because I couldn't say it in the beginning. Check it out because you never know what's going to inspire you. And I saw all sorts of things, and I was like, okay, I would have never thought about it. I would have never thought about doing that, but that's a great idea. So what else you got going on, Cryss?
I have a pip.
Ooh.
Which, if y'all been keeping up, a pip is a project in planning.
Well, I just told you about my pip.
I have been threatening for a while to make something out of crochet thread, which I find very intimidating. But I think the time has come. So I had this thread that I bought some time ago that I hid away from myself. But it's so beautiful. This is Naztazia. I think that's a Turkish brand. I don't know. Yeah, made in Turkey. Garden Space. And I got this. Was it Discontinued Yarns? It's one of those websites that sells just like leftover bits. And I liked it because you don't often see multicolored crochet thread. At least I have a hard time finding it.
Yeah.
But this has like different shades of pink. So it's a lighter pink, raspberry, like a real like Bordeaux kind of color in there.
That's nice.
Right? So I think, because I don't know how many balls of this, but I have quite a bit. And it's 306 yards. This might become a handkerchief dress.
Oh.
Because I feel, I've been looking at them online. I've seen some patterns, and I've seen some just like, sewn, store-bought, handkerchief dresses. And I feel like I get, it's really just 4 squares or rectangles, and you stitch them together a certain way, and boom, you've got a dress. And I love that idea. It feels almost like a hack, like a dress hack. Like, just take these squares and magically turn them into a dress.
There you go.
So I can pick any stitch pattern I want and just make some rectangles and then stitch them together. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen right now. I don't know what hook size they recommend for this.
Quite small.
I know, right? 1.7 millimeters, not very wrong. I think the smallest I've ever worked with was like maybe 2.25, like a regular crochet hook. But I do have the steel crochet hooks. I have a set of those from what is it? The Amor hooks. Who is it that makes those? The Japanese company, Clover. I do have a set of Clovers. So I'm gonna get to swatching and figure out what's next. But I think this will, it'll be comfortable to wear because it's cotton, so it'll be comfortable to wear in the summer.
Oh yeah.
But it'll give me some beautiful drape because it's so lightweight. As you can see, I'm terribly enthused about this. No, I think it'll be one of those things that once I get into it, it'll be fine.
I think you're just a little intimidated.
I am
by
totally
the process.
intimidated by it. But that's another thing on the channel Crochet Knitting Therapy. She does a lot of her things with crochet thread. And she's been making me think about my crochet thread. I knew I had this upstairs in a drawer, and I went and fetched it because I was like, she's just making me think about crochet thread all the time now.
And this color is wonderful. Yeah, the color is gorgeous.
So, yeah, this might become a dress. I think, unless I chicken out, which could happen. But the color is so beautiful. I find it very compelling. It's just like I want to work with it. I want to make something out of it. So we'll see how this goes. I've seen people make like whole wedding dresses out of this stuff, and I'm just like, wow, you've got a lot of patience.
Well, you know what? It will still be faster than knitting, but it's not going to be as fast as you're used to.
And so I think for this, I am going to use double crochet stitches. Y'all know I have some issues with double crochet stitches, partly because I think it's overused, and partly because it is a gappy stitch. But I think the finer you go, the less of that gapping you get. So I don't think that'll be as much of an issue with this yarn. And I don't know. I'm going to go through my stitch dictionaries and see what I find.
Consider lace. Lace just goes a long way.
And the only reason I was thinking about lace is because I don't want to have to line it. So I am going to, I have a preference for opaque stitch patterns, but we'll just see what I'm going to swatch. Swatching will determine what I use. Yeah. But I think the time has come. I want to make something out of crochet thread before the end of the summer so that I can actually wear it, before summer's over. So,
well, technically speaking, summer is not over until September 21st.
I know. I don't want to work in it for 3 months though.
So, but you can definitely wear it. Yeah,
we'll see. Yay!
I believe. Okay, I believe.
What's on the list?
My socks. Still making progress. I really needed to.
Is this like the longest time it's taking you to make a pair of socks? Is the entire just slowing you down?
It sure is. Yeah. You know what?
Is it different from crochet? Because my wool walk tee, it didn't.
You did blocks though, and I'm doing.
Oh yeah, you're changing multiple times.
Yeah, every row. Yeah,
I designed things specifically so that right now I only have to use 2 colors in a row. I don't mess with like the autumn bobbins or whatever. So
I don't mess with bobbins either. I just work from the tangle. But as you see, she is growing, so I'm very happy. But you know what I had to do? I had to designate a specific time to work on it. because it's not a high priority item. I really want to wear my Zana cardigan and my tank top together. So if I just go by my druthers, that's what I'm going to work on. So what I do is I have a half an hour scheduled to just work on these, and whenever they're finished, they're finished. I'll do some vanilla socks next. That will just go much faster. Because I do want to have a few new pairs of socks for the fall. So if I work on socks for the summer, I'll have some brand new socks to wear come fall. But you know what? This is so satisfying to watch these lines run up the sock. I absolutely love it. And now I'm building around to the back of the socks where it will have its own set of lines running up the back of the sock. I'm not mad.
And that is from the 52 weeks of socks.
Yeah, this is from 52 weeks of socks. All kinds of interesting socks in there. So these will be done eventually. But now they're getting some work done on them. So if it helps you, designate a time. Like, okay.
Did you see? I was watching the video, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago, by Knitty Natty, and she was showing how she schedules her time for working on different projects.
Yes, I was actually inspired by her.
Was interesting
to really carve out time.
If you work in multiple projects, I don't know how you finish anything without doing that.
Yeah, and then stick to that designated time plan.
Because I'm a moody stitcher, so if I had multiple projects, it's just like, what do I feel like working on today? And if I was just waiting for inspiration to pick something to work on each day.
Yeah, I'm a moody stitcher too. And like I said, I really want to work on what I'm excited to work on at the moment. So I can work on the tank top anytime. But the sock needs to get its equal time in,
I find that working on one thing at a time really works for me, just in terms of completing things.
Yeah, it's faster. It is. I'm not gonna lie, it's faster. It is. But having multiple projects is how I keep myself from starting anything that crossed my mind. A lot of things cross my mind.
I'm sure. So,
to prevent startitis, I keep a couple of things on the needles. And I'm like,
does swatching scratch your itch for starting things?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes that's what I'll do. I'll swatch in order to scratch the itch for starting something. And then it's kind of nice because
I find that like late at night when I'm going to bed thinking about stuff, I'll be like, I should just swatch it.
Let me just swatch it. Just swatch it. But it is nice if you've already done the swatch. When you're ready to start, you can just, you just go. You don't have that like delay, But that's how I keep my itch scratched. It's like the yarn for my next outline tank is sitting right over there. Yep. And I want to start it.
So you'd be working on two at the same time? That would be crazy.
It would be completely crazy.
She just said it would be completely crazy, but understand she didn't mean that when she said it.
It would be completely crazy. Utterly insane. But I haven't started it.
Very good. Don't wind the yarn. That's how you keep yourself from starting.
Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I was like, maybe I could just wind the yarn. That's what I could do. I could wind.
I just heard somebody say, I can have no potato chips, but I can't have one potato chip.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Don't wind the yarn.
Can you guys do that?
Because you can't just wind the yarn, because then you're going to swatch. And then when you swatch, you're like, I'll just do the foundation row. And yeah.
You gave the mouse the cookie.
Don't wind the yarn. Don't wind the yarn until you finish the one you're making out of chai.
So true. I can have no potato chips, but I can't have one potato chip. That is God's honest truth right there. But anyway, that's where I'm at with my projects. I am designating time, and that's really helping me.
It is. Like I've seen the difference. You're just much more productive.
Yes. How are you doing with your time blocking? You said you were going to try time blocking your why. Yeah. Okay.
I finished the back of that dress in a little under a week. That's how time blocking is going.
Oh.
I worked on nothing else.
Okay.
I worked on nothing else. So we're going to try again.
Okay, so what's your planning day? I try to do my planning on Sunday.
I haven't planned a planning day. That could be part of the problem.
Yeah, why don't you designate a planning day? It can be any day of the week. You got 7 to choose from. Flip a coin.
What if I do all my planning on leap day?
Okay, that's one way to do it.
I don't have to plan once every 4 years.
Yes. You plan for the next 5 years.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Yeah. I want to. You know what? It'd be good to do that before I start my pip, right?
Yes.
So now that I have the dress in an almost finished state and I have not started the pip yet, the pip is not a whip. So now I'm gonna try the planning. But I was thinking about it sometimes as I was stitching for hours and hours as I binge watched anime. I was like, I should stop and set a time and then do the next thing. Like sometimes I would watch some anime and be like, okay, I'm gonna stitch for 2 episodes or 3 episodes, and I just kept stitching.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a different way to work. Okay, it's a different way to work. But you might want to do that, because that way you get other things done too.
Yes.
You know, it can't be like that all or nothing. And I do like what Knitty Natty does, because I haven't gone to the level where she has with her knitting yet, but I'm considering it. What she does, she times herself knitting a round or a row, depending on the project. And that way she can decide on any given day, okay, I know I can do this much in an hour or whatever time she has. And she can keep herself on track like that. But I'm not there yet, but I think it's a good idea, especially if you are the type of person that works on multiple things at once.
So we're still working on the time management thing.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing at all. It's hard.
But you see, it has the back of the dress done, right?
You sure do,
and nothing else.
Oh yeah.
I did that in like some laundry over last week, and that was it.
It comes with some sacrifices.
So yeah, we're gonna work on
that. So you wanted to talk about something?
Yes, because Lisa and I differ on this, and I'm just at a loss. I don't understand your concept.
Oh,
and we were talking about yarn grab bags. Now, I haven't purchased any because they're mostly offered by like craft stores, and since I'm not really using acrylic the way I used to, I haven't like pulled the trigger on any of those. But there's a company that's offering some grab bags, or like they're selling them wholesale to yarn stores. And Lisa and I were talking about offering some on the website, and I was like, because I would definitely buy a grab bag from this company, from Knitting Fever, because they have amazing yarn. And I saw like a picture of some of the grab bags, and I was just like, is that Nora in there? But Lisa said she wouldn't buy a grab bag. Like, she sells them, but that she's not a grab bag customer. And I'm just like, who are you? Because I love the idea of a grab bag, because sometimes like I, spend a lot of time trying to decide what yarns I want and picking things out. Sometimes it's nice to just have a break from making those decisions and just, seeing what you get. Plus, I love the whole like surprise box element. If you trust the person who's putting together the surprise, then, you're happy to be surprised. So because I know a lot of the yarns that this company sells, and I love Juniper Moon Farm, I like Noro, Ella Ray, like these are brands that I'm very comfortable with, and this is what would be in the grab bag. I'm like, I was like, I want 10. But she doesn't, she's not into grab bags.
I'm not into grab bags just because I'm very, very deliberate about my yarn choices.
But I don't think one precludes the other.
No, it doesn't. But I don't necessarily want a surprise. I think when you buy a grab bag, you don't necessarily just want yarn, you want a surprise.
Yeah.
And I don't want a surprise. I want
a yarny surprise.
I want exactly what I want. I don't know. It's like there's this yarn that just got discontinued, and I am so bitterly disappointed.
Don't even get me started talking about this.
Yeah.
You have to drag me out the soapbox.
Yeah. I would take, I don't know, as many of those as they wanted to throw at me.
Which yarn?
Oh gosh. It was a Barocco yarn. It had a nubbly texture.
Not Artesia.
No.
Because I am sweating Artesia. It got discontinued.
I forget what the name is.
Its
but
life was cut tragically short.
I really liked it. And I was like, oh, I'd get that. Because I have things in mind that would be good for that yarn.
But sometimes I feel that the yarn itself inspires my decision to make something. Mm-hmm. So sometimes if you just show me a yarn, I'm like, oh, I know what I could do with that.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like that too. But I don't know. I feel like when and
like occasional, like say you bought one grab bag a year, like not this is how I get yarn now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't ever just like, oh, let me just treat myself to one grab
You know
bag.
what? Like you said, I think it would depend on who was making the grab bag. It's so funny because I've done mystery boxes and I've done grab bags, and the people who buy them from me are like, yeah, I know what Lisa likes. Lisa, I know what Lisa likes.
And so she's very deliberate when she is assembling the boxes. She's not just throwing together leftovers.
No.
But I think these are kind of leftovers, but good leftovers of good stuff.
Yeah. I like to, when I make a box for someone, I picture it as a project. If you open that box, you could take everything out of that box and make something. Bam. Right there.
So don't you want that same experience you're giving to your customers?
Yeah, maybe I could try it. Maybe I could try
I'm just tripping over the fact that she's just like not into the idea
ordinarily,
at all.
I wouldn't be. It's like,
it's terrible. I guess I just have yarn fever though, because I'm just like, I don't care. Just give me it.
Just give it to me.
I don't care what
I'll
it is.
figure it out later. Okay, I'll figure it out later. But yeah, I could try it and see how it is. But like I said, my process for buying yarn is so different.
Because my mom and I are both like, yes, please.
Yeah. It's like when I think about making a project, I might spend a month getting that project together in my mind. Yeah.
I might spend like a few days. I don't spend like a month.
I'm thinking about it. I'm swatching. I'm trying out different yarns.
Doing the research. Lord of mercy.
If there's something I like, I'll look through the pattern. If there's something I don't know, like the sweater I was showing you guys earlier with the interesting situation down the sleeve. This is a technique I've never heard of before. So I'm going to swatch that and do a little research on that just to teach myself how to do it before I try to do it in the sweater. So it really depends on the pattern. If it's a really simple pattern, I wouldn't go through all of that. But new techniques, new fibers to me.
Yeah, but like
I play with it.
I wouldn't have the patience to work in it for like if I was thinking about it too long and hadn't made any decisions, I would just move on to something else. But what do y'all think about yarn grab bags? Like, are you pro? Are you anti? Are you in the middle? Like, because I'm very pro. But
I like putting them together because I see it as a little present I'm putting together for somebody. I do. And it's just like,
see it as yarn.
I like putting them together.
We mentioned before we used to go to this yarn sale at a hotel. It was a store in New York that used to have like area hotel sales, and they literally sold you yarn in garbage bags. Like that was the bags they had as shopping bags. And none of us had any objections to buying garbage bags full of yarn. Now you're picking your yarn; those weren't grab bags. You're picking your yarn, and that's just how you carried it out. The hotel we used to go to had like a little side door in that room, and there were literally people. I guess they were sellers. They would literally back up a truck.
Yep.
To buy yarn at this sale. So the whole idea of just a big sack of yarn. Oh.
And do you remember the people who would be at Vogue Knitting? They would always be in like a corner booth in the back. And they wouldn't even take the yarn out of the boxes. They'd have these big like waist high boxes.
No, I just remember the bin people.
And yeah,
I went bin diving it both in real
yeah.
life, and I loved it. So we're always joking out bin diving, like, hold my ankles. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I have never actually bought a grab bag myself, but maybe I should try it.
You know what? I bought a Michael's store general grab bag that had yarn in it. Like I could see through the plastic that there was yarn, which is why I bought that particular bag. And but it's different kinds of craft things. That's the only kind of grab bag that I purchased, but I bought it specifically to get yarn. But I'm really excited about this.
Well, I think we're going to end up having some grab bags on our website, and they're going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, you should order them today.
Nice. But I will let you guys know when they're up on the website, and I will announce in our newsletter when they're live. So you can check them out. All I can tell you about them is that they will contain 10 skeins of yarn.
Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Grab bag.
I know, that's all she's been talking about.
Because she told me about it yesterday, and I was so excited. I was thinking about them when I went to bed. Is that weird? I'm often thinking about yarny things as I go to bed. Because you know what? Like I once said sleep is the enemy, because I just feel like it's wasting a lot of my time. Because as I'm going to sleep, I keep thinking about all the things that I still want to get done, and how like the day ran out, and like, oh, I didn't get any of these things done. So I often have like yarn on the brain as I'm going to sleep. So last night it happened to have been grab bags.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. You know, like how I told my fantasy. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, we might have overshared.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a trifle, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just us. All right, it's just us here. Anyway, I think that's all I have for today.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, I'm good.
All right, then. Thank you guys for joining us. We are at 290 subscribers. Do remember, like and subscribe. It really helps us. And when we hit 300, we're giving away a whole bag of goodies. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. See you next week.